Welcome to the season of happiness and wisdom. Vidya Dadati Vinayam. Do you still remember that knowledge should result into the humility? We discussed about the humility, and the humility results in becoming a qualified seeker. In that state of the humility, you are always aware not to get carried away either by the delusion or by the ego. These are the two things. Ego and delusion. What does it mean? Why I go after the delusion? So I'm seeking pleasure outside in an object. For what reason? For happiness. And who is seeking an happiness? It is the ego. So the false I plus projection is equal to seeking a desire outside. So yes, when you become a qualified seeker, and then what happens? Then the wealth of the wisdom enters into your life. I can bet you your mind has been reactive and anxious, but once you really understand it, it will simply dissolve. That is the power of the Eastern wisdom. And that wealth of the wisdom helps you to follow three and four things. I'm just giving you some idea before I switch on to the main topic today. That three and four things. Once it gives you an attitude of gratitude. What is gratitude? I can say, no, I'm grateful to you. No, it will not work. I see what you have given me. Almost everyone is supporting me in a different ways. So you are supporting me. Do I feel it? Yes, I feel it. So that emotion and the feeling gives you a thank you note. That is what the gratitude is. Oh, I'm grateful to you. It doesn't work that way. So the masters have in detail understood. Now see that I'm grateful to you. Intellectually I can say with a dry note and everything is okay. That is the fashion, has become a fashion. But before that, I should be grateful to what is given to me. The five elements are given to me. Unconditional air going to my nose. Unconditional. Am I grateful? Am I grateful? That becomes the gratitude. My parents did not squeeze my neck at the time of the birth they brought me. I may have 1 million differences with my parents. Am I grateful? No, my dad, he doesn't understand. So you understand. Only you understand. We are going deeper. So there are many levels of the gratitude. I have to remember this state of the gratitude every day in the morning. Why? To get rid of my ego, to realize the real self, to awaken. Second is that we already discussed the duty. My duty, your right. Do I care your right or not? Oh, as a father, do I care the rights of my son, my daughter? Do I care the right of my sibling? Do I? Your mind is overwhelmed with taking care. Why? It becomes your duty. Third, wealth of the wisdom, I say. You are 200% strict to your life, and you are totally flexible to others. Are you understanding? No, 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 he reacted to me and I don't want to talk. No. You have to be very strict to yourself. Continue talking. Until if someone says no, it's okay. Do you see the relationship will be maintained from your side? You will not enter into fear and anxiety. So when I say I have a relationship more than 30, 35 years, it is because of this. Yeah, sometime I also committed mistakes. I should agree. Duty, my duty. I have to take care of your rights. Anyone. Why I said so? Because in between these three factors I discussed, three factors, yes, being grateful, your duty and right, and I have to be very strict to myself. That is known as endurance and patience. I'm defining for you. Understand each and every word. So that is that you are living with that endurance and patience. I think Sasha. First, Sasha is the name of a great yoga teacher who lives in Ukraine with Dennis. I met him in India, and then how? In 2001, we still have a good relationship. You take care of everyone in the world. It is my duty. It is my duty. Finished. What is going to happen? You dissolve your ego. In your personal life, in your professional life, in your social life. It will fill you with a sense of happiness and the joy, happiness and the wisdom. What is this? This is a value. This is the value we are talking about. Huh? I think I made it very clear to you that how the values should be understood. So I have three values. There are 5 or 6 more values. We will talk about it. So once you set the value, that mind starts triggering you. Did you take care of? If not, the mind says, oh, he's a crazy, I don't want to talk. You see? The differences comes. This instant difference comes. Did you understand that? Value. You live with all the 3 values internally. It's purely mental and emotional. Mental and emotional. So instead of living with this value set, you are exercising your power, authority. And you already have seen what happens in your life. You are frustrated. This came to me in the morning. Not only I was concerned, but I felt very, I get too much emotional also. The person I found in New Jersey, I could see. So throughout all these years, I was pointing to her that please change, please change. And at this age, she is separated. Who is responsible? Only she. Again, I want to tell you something. She is a great advocate of the Eastern wisdom. When you talk, she loves, she is committed, she is dedicated, but the value is not there. Really? Value is not there. I tried all the possible ways. I manipulated sometime. I told even the lie to get the things right. But not possible. Why I said so? It is not easy. I said it is not easy. I have to work daily. When the surface is totally clean, you can see, yes, here is an awakening and here is a realization. So should I feel? Yes, I also feel that way, but on the basis of this value. Sorry, I will take little bit of knowledge from Dennis' profession. So in computer we have binary numbers. Understand it clearly and start applying that. Just apply this for this week. Only 1 week. You don't want to leave it. So I'm trying to explain you this value from the binary numbers. In computer we have two numbers, 1 and 0. Yeah? Understand clearly. Yesterday it came to my mind and I said, oh, this is a good thing to do. 1 is a value put before 0. What it means? Oh, hello, how are you? I first, 1. You are 1, 0. How are you, David? 1 here, you are David. I put 1 plus 0. Second, 0. Dennis, third 0. Christina, fourth 0. I'm just trying to make you very mathematical so that you understand clearly. Did you understand that? So we have two numbers only. You put 5 zeros or 6 zeros. I was telling you in the last session that they said that I will find you the best version of yourselves to get 6 and 7 figures income. I told you that LinkedIn. So she sent me a very good note. I'll tell you later. So but just understand. Imagine your mind is a highly sophisticated camera. Now I'm giving an example. And then you have to relate it to yourself. It does not passively record what is in front of it. Clear? So what happens? 1 is the pre-value. Before the camera even sees you, it has a preset filters and settings. These are your past experiences, memories, learned associations, inherent tendencies. 1, I see the David, but I have a preset filters. What are those filters and settings? Here is a David, here is a Dennis, past experiences, memories, learned associations, inherent tendencies, and now I start putting the value 0, 0. 0 is 1 memory, second 0 is this, third 0 is this. Oh, I know what kind of person David is, for example. Are you getting it? So first is the 1 is the pre-value. Preset filter is already there in my mind. and then the event takes place. Hey, how are you, Dennis? How are you, David? This is a raw input. Zero is the raw input. What is that zero? It is an event, it is a person you are meeting, a situation. It is zero, the thing itself, without any interpretation. I give the interpretation. You are good or bad. You are simply a person. It demands a lot of awareness, attention, regular practice, and then you reach to that state. Rainy day, zero. Rain is zero. Mind filter, one. If you have a childhood memory of playing the rain and moving it, your filter might be positive. Or if you are stressed about being late for an appointment because of the rain, your filter might be negative. You have to listen to this again and again. I'm just making it very. So, processing. 0 and 1 is a CPU, is a processor. So, what is the processed image based on the filters? I don't like rain, because the mind has triggered you, even if you don't remember that you have been late for an appointment. Take another example, meeting someone new. New person, 0. Mind filter, 1. So that 1, your past experiences with people, your social anxieties, your cultural biases, your mood that day, all these factor counts. Processed image. Whatever is the mind filter is. So mind filter is you are a wonderful person. Mind filter is you are not, you are good, you are bad. It causes success and failure. I'm talking of value. How the mind, how our masters have thought of it, how this mind should follow the wisdom of teachings of this Eastern Western. Take another example, raw input. Getting a promotion at work. It is an event. President, the position is a raw value. Who takes over as a president is that where the filter comes. Are you getting it? The post of a president started the moment we became a democratic country, and we continue. See, that's a raw input. But the filter, getting a promotion at work, for example. So what is the mind filter? If I'm insecure, I might think I don't deserve this. Look at this. I got it. If I'm confident, I might think that my hard work will pay me off. What is the processed image? What processed image means the value. What is the value? Joy and gratitude, or anxiety and fear? So that is why in a camera we always like to set a value. Please, smile please, I'll take your picture. Smile. Do you see that? One example. So the process I described where the mind assigns the values, then gets attached to those values, is precisely what leads to suffering, anxiety, reaction, duality, conflict. Otherwise, there is no reason to be conflict, even if the criminal is there in front of you. Who cares? We become attached to our interpretations, and then I attach it to 1. Plus 0, plus 0, plus 0, plus 0, plus 0. So 5 zeros, negative value is set, I am into anxiety. Positive value is set, I am free. I have to break this cycle. If I don't break this cycle, mind is not going to be purified. The key is to become more aware. Simple is more aware. Mind, what you are processing. What is the pre-filter? Hold on. Hold on. By recognizing that our interpretations are not necessarily objective reality, we can begin to detach from them. Where? Inside my head. Why I want to detach with them? Because in that attachment, the emotion is going outside. It will drop it, and now the emotion will be redirected to the knowledge. I told you the marriage. If the value is screened by discernment and dispassion, what happens? And if the value is screened by the duality and division, what happens? It demands a lot of awareness. And that lot of awareness comes by regular practice. Are you getting it? If the value, now I'm saying, you have understood 1 and 0, now the value is screened, examined, made aware by the principle of discernment and dispassion, you can think of what happens. And if it is screened by attachment, reaction, then what happens? You already know. That is our life. And that we do this, we set the value the moment we wake up in the morning until we retire to the sleep. That is the problem of mind. I'm trying to be purely mathematical, logical, rational, so that you can perceive, oh, emotion is going there. No, emotion is going to the knowledge. Both the marriages have taken place, and then see what happens in your life. I need not to say anything. So the moment value is set, examined by the discernment and dispassion, you transcend the duality. That is known as live in a moment. That is the meaning of choiceless awareness. That is the meaning of awakening. Many words are there. You release the grip of past conditioning, memories, ingrained pattern. You may commit a mistake, you're crazy and I don't want to talk to you, you get upset. But the next moment, again, you reset the value. Because you are learning, you have already understood the power of gratitude, you have already understood the power of duty. Is your right. What is happened? You reset the value. You say sorry and get the things done. If the other person is also okay, they will follow you. Otherwise, no, it's okay. But you are clear. You are in peace. You are in joy. Why? You have removed the grooves. Because of your impulsive nature, you recognize, you realize, you changed it. Unconditional love and the compassion starts. First in you, there is a deeper layer of the peace and the joy. You enter into a spontaneous action. Life becomes beautiful. Now we have yet to understand this binary number 1. So why our master says that you have to be aware, you have to raise your level of awareness, why all those 8 steps to be practiced, so that you reach to a point of awareness where you recognize number one is a mixture of false I and the real I. False I cannot exist without consciousness, and consciousness is the real I. So there is a mixture. And if you do not discern this, the value cannot be set rightly. The I is a layered onion. Onion we talk about, metaphor. The core is the real I. At the very center is my real self. And the outer layers, many layers. Many layers. That is what I explained you in the preset filters. Past memories, experiences with you and others, rain. So these are the outer layers. These are the layers of the ego, the false I, the past impression. It contains the thoughts and feeling and emotions and anxiety and duality and a conflict. Oh, long list. I started with the binary numbers. Then I indicated you the number one, and you add 10 zeros. Something I don't remember. It becomes billion or $1 million. No set. I need those zeros. But the mixture should not be there. Mixture should not be there. So you are free. When you are free, here and now. Outer layers. So where is the problem that I'm not able to set the value? The mistaking the layers for the core. I mistake the layers as if it is me. I said, you are crazy. So yes, I said this. I mean it. I know it. That is what we talk in our relationship. I mean it. You are crazy. Others is not crazy. You are crazy. Who is saying this? Why? Make sure. That is why Master says, actor and the role are two things. Hollywood actor plays a role of a crime. He killed a lot of people. In the evening, he knocks the door and he meets the honey. He does not remain as a criminal. You have to look at it. That is how we have to understand discernment and dispassion, peeling back the layers. That is our 9th, 10th, and 11th step. Discernment and dispassion. Result, I recognize what is the outer layer. You simply recognize what is the outer layer. Rain, 10 years ago, I missed an appointment, I lost the job. Yesterday I met you, you reacted to me. Yes, you see that. See, layers. I need an extraordinary awareness to recognize that true I. It is like a fog of ignorance. That is what we say. It is like a fog of ignorance. Very subtle, but not very difficult to understand. Even if you don't understand, it's okay. I'm going to talk about it in a different ways. This is, when I'm explaining to you like this, I'm grateful to my master. I'm not doing any special service to you guys. I'm grateful to the teacher who made me understand. So how I should perform my duty. It's a totally different level of being you become. So what happens, the first 3 steps out of the 8 steps. I used to tell you, study Eastern wisdom to study yourself. The second is action comes out of that value. you will experience that you are no longer a doer and the enjoyer. You let me do it, continue. Live your life. The next three steps helps you to purify the mind and prepares the mind to set a value. And the last two steps, you remember I told you, desire for the real self enters into your mind now. Now the mind is constantly seeking the real self. Teaching, walking, eating, sleeping, everywhere. And the eighth step, I told you, leave the home. You leave this home, you get this home. Leave the home caused by the attachment, duality, delusion, you get the home of discernment and dispassion. So the ninth step, master says, you'll be surprised. The ninth step says, become a seeker under a teacher. That is one explanation. Second is seek the company of wise and good. I can also translate consistently, consciously, learning under a teacher is very important. Then repeat listening is important. Then contemplation and reflection is important. So what is going to happen? There is a pure emotion that starts flowing inside, going to the knowledge. 10th step. In the 11th step, we will cultivate the 6 inner wealth in our mind. So the 9th, 10th, and the 11th step is complete. I hope you might have understood this from the binary numbers. It is so simple to understand. There are many masters who remain as one. They are living in the caves in the Himalayas. They don't want to get out. They said, no, why should I go out? But there are others who went out like the Buddha to teach out of compassion. So the compassion is a value already set in their mind. But at the same time, they are grateful. They are expressing because of the gratitude. They never have a feeling that they are teaching, they are passing on this wisdom. Material world doesn't work like that way, how much is the payment? How much you are going to charge? Well, then only it's totally to strike a balance is a big challenge. Otherwise, you wear the loin cloth and orange colored clothes, and then they say, okay, he's a poor monk, give him some donation. Give him some donation. You are poor. Why the monk is poor? Do you see that? I'm just... you are poor in your mind. It's a perception. My master used to say that I am the richest guy. Why? Because I don't even have a penny to safeguard. I don't have a bank account. I don't own a house. So I'm the richest guy. Can you go deeper and understand why I'm a richest guy? He does not own any monastery, does not own any bank account, he does not have, just 2 pairs of the clothes. In a modern scenario, you can also Google and find out U.G. Krishnamurti. I met him and I lived with him for almost 3 months, day and night, 24 hours. I just wanted to check. in my early years. A great master. He visited United States many a times. He visited Europe. He used to give a talk. Only two pairs of clothes. So you set your value depending on your your journey. So then there are people like who have a family and who have the kids. So at the outer level, they have to follow the society. Internally, they are different. There are many people like this, not one. So just follow this. Listen to this. If you don't understand, you are most welcome to ask any question. Close your eyes now. Eyes are closed. Brandy could not focus looking at me because I have grown my beard. So that's why she listens very without video. The eyes are closed and place, position, and the posture. You see, you have already set a value. Do you know that what I'm saying? You have already set the value, and I say place, position, posture. Hey, you are done is yes. You don't need to prepare. Same way, place, position, posture. Does it happen? You are there. Being comfortable and carefree. Are you? Did you set? So it is not the value set with emotion. Values set everywhere all the time. Oh, being carefree. Oh, you set so easily? Yes. Awareness of the flow of the breath. With the flow, you already know it. And maintaining that flow of the breath, you're aware of the first neighbor, the world outside. What value you have set. That is what we do every time. What we discuss, we like to translate that into practice. No, I have a lot of challenges in my life. My mom, my dad, or my honey. This is not the time you are doing meditation. Simply recognize you have set the value. And then see how dare the body moves. This is known as a deeper meditation. You still follow the same steps. Deeper meditation, but the mind is not at all interested. Second neighbor is the body. Body, you're there? Yes. Comfort and steadiness is there? Yes. No, there is a discomfort. Strict discipline. I can endure it. Well, in the beginning, if you cannot endure it, you can adjust and align. Those days are gone. You see how our masters have third is the energy, the life force. This life force, the prana, prana follows one past impression in the mind, causes the trouble in the body. I believe I have explained it. Fourth neighbor is the mind. The duality. Instead of duality, let there be discernment and dispassion. Fifth, I-ness. I know. Layers. False I. Core. But yet I have to yet to find out. That is what is the sixth neighbor. That is what we are doing it. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. Now this mind goes with an emotion. because you have already filtered. You have created a new value set. What is that value set? Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. It begins, charity begins at home. You look at your mom or sister or honey, and your mind says, I don't want to talk. No, I will talk. Why? Seeking happiness. I believe you are getting it. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, may there be peace for all. Now I think today's you have understood one deeper layer, deeper understanding of the Mangala Charan, creating an auspiciousness. Normally, in the modern terminology, we say create a sacred space. This is creating a sacred space. Sarvesham Puranam Bhavatu, may there be completeness in all. May there be completeness in all. You get emotional. May there be completeness. Why? Because it exists. Where it exists, at the core. I'm terribly disturbed. My son said me something. So you have set the value outside. You did not reset the value. I believe you are getting it. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Now I am in the sacred space. It all demands an understanding. It takes you to the state of the meditation. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Oh, sacred space. Sacred space means that I'm aware. The grace and the blessing is ever present. Why I could not see it? You already know it. I have already explained. You give a value set in a different direction. In that state, if you are doing the next step, it brings the result very fast. So looking deep inside the forehead in the space. So in the space, at a point, so we are pointing to the core. But the space is there, outside the body, mind, breath, and etc. Everything is there. It's a layers. Let us start breathing long, deep in the hissing breath into the rib cage. So you are constantly and consistently aware of Om Shanti at a point in the space, core, action part, layers. And that demands an extraordinary awareness. It comes naturally. You are committed, it comes. No issue. Continue. Here, breathing equal inhalation and equal exhalation into the rib cage. You experience the expansion and contraction, and your focus is at a point inside the forehead in dropping Om Shanti. You see, we are using all those tools, if I say so, to help the mind to reset the value. No, no, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this. Please continue. What I don't want, because the mind will take you somewhere else and you say no. Did you check that there's a total expansion of the rib cage? You see, it looks very easy, simple, but it's a big challenge. Oh, so you are breathing into the rib cage, not into anywhere else. There's a total expansion and contraction. You are dropping Om Shanti. You are maintaining the stillness. You are engaging the mind in such a way that it has no option but you are creating a preset in the camera. Those filters are already there. And then you say, just smile and take the picture. Continue. Now you see that strict. You are utmost strict to yourself. Why? Mind says, I feel, no, I will do it. I feel tired. No, I'll do it. Patience, endurance comes from the intellect. And then it becomes the joy of doing. Just check whatever I have discussed with you. If you see any flaw, you have a right to ask the question to clarify. Learning these subtle aspects, I have to become a seeker. I cannot teach to the novice, to the beginners. Continue breathing deep, long in the hissing into the rib cage. Just a reminder. You already know it, it's good. You don't know it, so my voice triggers an awareness in you and you do it. Sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Shanti in deep inside the forehead at a point. Oh, that point is the core you are suggesting, yes. And the rest, in that space, we have body, we have breath, we have mind, we have emotions, we have thoughts, we have feeling, we have expansion and contraction, we have an action part, we are breathing deep, silent, long deep in the hissing breath. Oh yeah, everything is okay. So your clarity is there. Now stop it. Take your mind to the flow of the breath. You are doing nothing now. You're almost in a state of doing nothing. Is the state of doing nothing and being aware of the flow of the breath another value that you are setting? Yes, because you are asking the intellect, don't bring the false I. Don't claim that I am doing something. That statement appears very simple, casual, but it has a very deeper meaning. So you're just aware of the flow of the breath, and then in order to engage your mind, I asked you that you watch if the flow of the breath is equal. You are there. You may not recognize it. You're already deeper. Oh. So what should we do? Do nothing. I told you. Just be aware of the breath. It is another step. We'll be paying more attention to this step, that can we remain in the state of doing nothing and aware of the flow of the breath for a longer period. Because the moment your intellect has an idea that I'm the doer, the mind will say you have done millions of things, you are not in peace. You have done lot of things seeking the pleasure outside, you were in peace. It's a very subtle. I'll take up that gradually so that you are very clear. And now drop Om Shanti on the 16 segments of a finger of all four fingers. Repetition. Once you complete, you repeat it. Don't worry. Just you. Now I told you one thing. Depending on the values set by the mind, you may say Om Shanti mentally, and then you feel it. You bring all the four senses and one motor organ together, and then you feel it. And then again you say Om Shanti. Other may say, dropping Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. It's okay. You need not to worry. Don't get upset. I have to say like this, then it will happen. Then the doer comes. And that takes a long time. Long time by consistent practice. You're dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of fingers, and you recognize all the senses which are fundamentally one-sided windows. They open to the world outside. And you say, I'm not going outside. So it doesn't mean the sense organs die. The faculty does not die. And that faculty lives with the mind. And that is the beginning of his self-absorption. And now look inside the heart, visualize the triangle of any color. Move the mind on each side of a triangle, dropping Om Shanti. Clockwise, anti-clockwise, sync. You know it. And the moment it sings, that is the moment. Pushing the mind. Now you have taken over the mind. Pushing the mind deep inside the cave of your heart. Shanti. When mind seemingly stops, and then do nothing. I'm repeating again. Who keeps your body motionless? That body exists in that motionless existence. And that is our real self. I told you one time that we'll have a direct experience. Why it is motionless? Because it does not change. It's all pervading. For any motion, we need a space. And there is no space left where the real self is not. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences. Bring the hands down. We'll share our experiences with any question that you have. Yes, Dennis, I talked about your subject.
Thank you for the session and the practice. Uh, my summary of today's session is that the objects in the world have no inherent value. It is our mind that gives value to objects based on its interpretations, and these interpretations are caused by past impressions. And therefore it makes sense to examine these values that mind attaches to objects. And if we do that, we can examine the mind itself and understand why it gives this value to this object and that value to that object, and finally realize that these values have no real or significant meaning, and the only the only thing that has real value is the real self.
Is the real self. Is the
Uh,
one.
yes, and it is one and whole. I think this is what you try to convey to us using this metaphor with the binary numbers.
Yes, you see, one and how much it makes, how many zero makes 1 million or 1 billion, any number, you have to calculate. I'm weak in mathematics. So now everyone has a billion. Now, can you imagine how the mind resets the value? I'll have a house, I'll have Rolls Royce, I will marry Miss Universe. You see the value set. Value. You see. Huh? Now, I have given a very gross picture. Now, yesterday, I was in a motor vehicle commission to renew my license. So, you are from Arab? I said, no, I'm not. Mind. Mind resets the value because of the beard. Mind, are you from Arab? Now, if someone says, are you crazy? Oh, you have reset the value. I'm okay. So think in that way. But it takes time. It is not one day affair. How are you, Stephen?
Good, sir. Thank you. Um, it all to me, it all starts with awareness, and the setting the value allows us to be aware of anything and everything around us to get to the point of um, living in that moment, accepting things as they are without any influence from our past impressions, and the setting of the value um, increases our ability to discern and be dispassionate,
Yeah,
which are the key principles of getting where it needs to go. And I'm embracing that in every moment. My meditation
beautiful.
was deep and absorbed. So, thank you.
Yes, you're right. The zero, when you put after one, then it has a value. Otherwise, it has no value. You put 10 zeros without one, but we put. Why we put? Because of the false I. What is this false I? It has many layers. Many layers. Otherwise, oh, you are from Arab and someone addresses me crazy, has the same value zero. You put it before one or you don't put it. How simple it is. Simple? Yes. How are you, David and Jerry? very, very simple.
Thank you. I'm loving the value discussion this week a lot, and particularly today, the binary aspect of it. That really resonated with me. You know, the 9 zeros behind the one is a billion. You know, the
90 is billion. Thank you for telling me.
I mean, it's 6 zeros is a million. You know, just all that aspect of it. But the one is true value, which is within ourselves. So, thank you.
Yes, you're right. So, if the mind goes to one, points to the one, you have already reset the value. So why? Because the mind is now married to the intellect by emotion, by otherwise it is married to the zeros. That is the problem. So yes, Jerry. Yes, Jerry.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, the values is another aspect or another tool to put in the tool belt, and I really like it. It just makes it simple again, but not so simple. So those impressions, we have to pay attention because they come up and they influence that false.
Yeah.
So once the opportunity every day to not have impressions.
Yes.
So we have a lot of experiences every day, and can we stay neutral? And can we see those from that place of oneness?
Yeah.
And so then we can reestablish our impressions or lack thereof moving forward.
Yes. Who gives the value to a zero? It is false. I have to recognize that. To recognize that, I have to, what is required? That zero has no value. What is required? What is required is pure awareness. Zero before one has no value. After one, false identification, attachment, and delusion, and ignorance, and long list. That is what our masters have been talking about to make the things very clear to us. How are you, Brandy?
I'm good, thank you. I liked what you said about your master's saying he was the richest guy in the world because he didn't have anything. That was relatable. And I also, the camera thing helped me a lot today. I took a photography class in college and I took it as an elective and I thought it'd be easy. And it was honestly the hardest class I took. And a lot of it had to do with figuring out how to set that aperture, that filter, and capture things in a useful way. And so that was, I don't do numbers, I don't do binary and all that, but so thank you.
I get it. I get in a different way. The moment the mind says it is very difficult, you have already set the value. Recognize it, work on it, you'll be free. No, he is a difficult guy, he cannot understand. You have already reset a value. You see what happens to your relationship? It changes. Your perspective changes completely. That is what we need to do in our life. How are you, Barbara?
I'm very good, thank you. I particularly enjoyed the analogy of the core because I believe that through self-study and contemplation, you can dissolve the layers and you can get to the core.
Yes, you are right. You are right. Just take an example that I'm deeply attached to my son. They are layers. They are layers. So can I get rid of it? How you get rid of it? To recognize as such there is no value. There is no value at all. No, how do you say that he is my son or she is my honey? Long list, So for those guys, they are not seekers. It will take many sessions to reach to that state. How are you, Christina?
Thank you. My meditation was deep. I felt like I could have stayed here all day into
Good.
tomorrow.
Very good.
That was really good.
Yeah. That, it means the mind has already reset the value. That's why I want to set forever. Beautiful. How are you, Terry?
I feel happy.
Very good.
I was wondering about the real self.
Yes.
Can you really say that it's a self?
Can I say it is?
A self. I mean, it's just a word.
Yeah. It is no, it is not a shelf. All the shells are different layers. And yeah, all those layers. You have given a value to your illness. That is a layer. You are different from it.
Yeah.
That is, you need to understand. So I'm trying to explain in a variety of ways.
Mm-hmm.
When you have a long beard, then you are a great master. No, then you are more crazy. It is a layer. I have to understand it. So it means that Buddha is not a great master? So you see, it demands an analysis, an understanding, recognition in the field of awareness, and then the life moves smoothly. You don't have a point of anxiety and reaction and duality and a conflict. So then only we can find we have a direct realization of the real self. That is all for today. We will meet again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.